Alright, so today I had this video idea, and I didn't look to see if anyone else has done it, but I'm sure probably someone has. This isn't incredibly unique of an idea, but it was an idea I had, and I was really excited to do it. So one of my favorite things that I've been doing since I was a reader, since I've been reading books, so most of my memorable life, I have loved reading a new book, being like, oh, this is so good, and knowing which person in my life would love it, and like buying it for them for Christmas or recommending it to them. I mean, to this day, when I read a book, I know when someone in my life will also love it, and I tell them, you have to read this book. And then they go read it because they don't have a TBR like 100 books long like most of us. And I wanted to do something similar here, but also pair it with like a booktuber recommendations thing. So I have on my little sheet of paper here, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people. So 10 booktubers who are my friends. I Voxer them, we buddy read things. We're always chatting. I consider these my book friends. They're also booktubers where I like try not to miss an upload. And I have personalized recommendations for them where I'm like, I think you will love this book. And so I think for you as viewers, A, you can figure out if these books are things you would like to read, but also maybe get a taste for what these people I think like what was my inspiration, and then go follow these people. You should for sure be subscribed to all these people, but that is neither here nor there. But I don't know, I just love recommending books, and I have a whole playlist of recommendation videos, and I love making those, but sometimes it's just nice to have like personalized recommendations. So, like I said, not an incredibly original idea, but one that made me like super excited, and I did my best to make sure none of these were read on their Goodreads, and that I tried really hard to make sure that these would at least be 4-star reads. I mean, the goal is 5-star, right? But I like really wanted to see if I could make it work, which for some of my friends is harder than others. So let's get into it. The first one I have on my list is Tori from Tori Morrow. She's primarily an adult speculative fiction booktuber, mainly with sci-fi. She does read, fantasy, and she does read some in the young adult range, but primarily adult sci-fi is her bread and butter on her channel. Ironically, I don't think I am recommending a sci-fi to her, mainly because our sci-fi tastes can diverge dramatically. There are books she gives 2 stars that I give 5 stars, and that's all over the map in sci-fi. So I wasn't very confident in recommending a sci-fi book to her. But I am fairly confident in recommending this one. And this is inspired by the fact that she loves Jade City. She gave Jade City 5 stars, was messaging me as she was reading it, was so into it, and it's like, oh my god, I can't put this down. And if you don't know, Jade City is primarily like a family drama, like kind of mafia gangster urban fantasy. There is magical elements, but it's mostly about the politics and the family drama in this city and the economics of that life. All right, so it's a pretty slow-paced story with explosive moments. That's the pacing of Jade City. The 3rd book, Jade Legacy, comes out soon, and we're all very excited. But because of loving that story so much, I am recommending to you, Tori, Ship of Magic by Robin Hobb. Because Ship of Magic by Robin Hobb is pretty much a very similar style of story, where it's a very good, like, paced story with explosive moments that are mainly around family drama that are very economically tied. Like, the family drama is very much, at least in my opinion, on par with what happens in Jade City. And also, there are some very morally great people in Jade City, some questionable villain-esque like characters, I guess I'd say, and some of the best villains exist in Ship of Magic. There is a character, Kennet, who I can't help but compare to a character in the Greenbone Saga series. I'll keep it vague for people. So that is why I think she would really love Ship of Magic, because of her love for Jade City. And I hope I'm right. I actually haven't talked to many people who love Jade City and see if they have liked the Live Ship Trader series. I'm currently in a world where I just want everyone to read the Live Ship Trader series. I've been posting reviews and spoiler chats. I just talked about it in a wrap-up. It was such a good series. So that one's for you, Tori. Next person I'm recommending a book to is Judith from Dead Good Book Reviews, and she's fantastic. Judith is one of my best bookish internet friends. She has amazing taste. She reads so many books, which is why it was hard to think of a book that she hasn't read that I think she will love. And honestly, this is a risky choice because she has already read a book by this author and has not loved it. But I am convinced that this one is different enough and will be a an experience she's more used to that she will adore this book, and that is The Best of All Possible Worlds by Karen Lord, which, yes, is one of my favorite books. But this is for very specific reasons. Judith loves the Wayfair series by Becky Chambers, which is one of the most wholesome, soft sci-fi series in existence. It's all about found family. It's all about coming together, optimistic sci-fi. That's Becky Chambers. That's what The Best of All Possible Worlds is. And I'm not the only one who thinks so. My friend from Brightness, Katie Reeds, just did a video about recommending sci-fi like Becky Chambers, and The Best of All Possible Worlds was on the list. So I'm not alone in this. And the first book that Judith has read by this author was Redemption in Indigo, and a lot of her complaints for that book do not exist in The Best of All Possible Worlds. This is a much more straightforward, linear narrative, and I do think that there's chances that she was really going to connect to this found family team of scientists trying to help relocate this whole subspecies of humans to this planet who have basically no longer have a home to go to. And I think there's great potential that she's going to love it. And so that's why I am recommending this book to her. The next booktuber I want to talk about and recommend a book to is Alan from the Library of Alexandria. And this is very tailor-made for you, Alan. I worked really hard on this. And I actually really didn't. But I'm going to pretend. So you're always talking about how you have too many long books on your TBR. Why can't I just have a 300-page book, you say? Why can't I have a trilogy just made up of 300-page books? Well, I got you. Machineries of Empire by Yoon-Ha Lee. Military sci-fi with world building in line with what I have found so far in Malazan books. Right here for you. 900 pages total for all 3 books. The first book is just like 302 pages. I'm just saying you can squeeze that right into the TBR. But seriously, I do think you would really enjoy the themes that exist here, especially in terms of like military and cultures and how they evolve and how you handle it. I just think it's a really fun sci-fi series. And because you really like Malazan, the thing that connects this book to Malazan in my mind is the fact that in both series, very early on, you have battle scenes where nothing makes sense, but it's really cool to look at. Like, there's just a lot of epic, cool things to look at. So those are some of the reasons. But I mainly just think that you would have fun reading this. You don't read a lot of sci-fi, but you've been dipping your toes into it and have been having fun. And I think this would be a good, short one that you could have a great time with. And I know you'll at least have the patience for the very aggressive world building because you have read through the Malazan series. So there is that. Next person I want to give a personalized recommendation to is Abby from Abby Salter. She has a wonderful channel, just got new bookshelves, and I really love that she does these basically puzzle updates at the end of her wrap-ups each month. She's like doing this huge puzzle right now. And basically, she's not going to be surprised when she hears this, because I have been screaming at her to read this book for months, in her comments, in real life, and that's The Mask of Mirrors. The Mask of Mirrors is amazing and everything Abby will like, I'm pretty sure. All of these I'm nervous about because obviously you can never know with complete certainty, but there's a lot of other fantasy she really likes that I associate with the density and complexity and character building of this series. You love City of Brass, you really like Foundry Side, you really like City of Stairs. You're gonna like The Mask of Mirrors. Like, you're gonna like it. You love Mistborn. You're gonna like The Mask of Mirrors, okay? You're going to. This has a con artist main character in a Venetian-inspired world where she has her found family unit who's trying to con this richer family out of money, and in the process, there is ballroom politics. There's a masked avenger who you are guessing the whole story who it is. There's complex politics in terms of basically these different classes of society and the people who are the colonizers and the people who are indigenous. It's great. You're going to love it, and it's sitting on your shelf, and you need to pick it up, and as do the rest of you, because the sequel, The Liar's Knot, look at this gorgeous cover, is coming out very soon, and I am beyond pumped for that. So, Abby, this is your personalized recommendation. Please go read it, and everyone else, please go follow Abby. She's fantastic. The next recommendation will be for Evie from She Was Only Evie, and Evie's not going to be surprised, but Evie, you need to read A Memory Called Empire. Like, I do not know why you have not read A Memory Called Empire. You claim that some of the only sci-fi you've read is Dune, and you love Dune. That's fair. if you love Dune, you're going to love A Memory Called Empire. You want a thematically rich reading experience? That's what you're always telling me. You want thematically rich, well-written stories. That is what A Memory Called Empire is. A lot of people don't like A Memory Called Empire because it's too thematically dense and too beautifully written. It gets in the way of the plot. You should read A Memory Called Empire. It is so good. It is so up your alley. I need you to pick it up. Like, so badly. It's only 2 books. And you could read the first one as a standalone. Why would you? But you could. So I'm just saying, you specifically need to read A Memory Called Empire. You listen to me when it comes to things you shouldn't read. So you should really listen to me in this case. So that is your personalized recommendation. Evie is wonderful for the community. We keep doing fun tag videos on her channel. She's just a delight. Runs reading sprints. There's a lot of dog footage. Please go check her out. I mean, she's a great bookish friend. Like, seriously. I think everyone who has become bookish friends with Evie can say with certainty that she is the most considerate person in our community and so giving to a fault. The next person I want to recommend a book for is Brittany from Books with Brittany, and I've actually already told her this, so this won't be a surprise to her, but for you guys, it's going to be Her Body and Other Parties, because she has been switching her reading taste. She used to read a lot of classic adult sci-fi and fantasy, still reading a bunch of sci-fi, but now she's more in like the speculative genre blending literary fantasy space. And I think because of that, Her Body and Other Parties is right up her alley, especially since she keeps asking me where to start with short story collections. And this is a short story collection that is speculative and creepy, and its main themes are about the female body and how it interacts in general with yourself, with other people. Like, that's what each story kind of focuses on thematically, but in very different ways. Some are incredibly disturbing and haunting, and I think that's also right up your alley, Brittany, because that's stuff that you seem to be craving. And I know she's read In the Dream House, which is a memoir by this author, and really enjoyed it. So that is why this is your personalized recommendation, Brittany. Okay, this next one was really, really hard, because when I say that me and this person, like, never align on reading tastes, I'm not even kidding. And this is Leanna from Leanna's Library. Chances are, if I give a book 5 stars, she's going to give it 2 stars. This is just a thing I have to accept in my life. Like, she gave The Way of Kings 1 star, okay? Like, these are the differences in our reading tastes, okay? And for that reason, I'm not recommending a fantasy book. If anything, I have a better chance of telling her when she won't like a book than when she will like it. Because we do have some overlap. We both love Jemison. We both love Catherine Arden. We both really like Robin Hobb. So there's some overlap, just not a lot. But I'm going to recommend Hamnet. And I don't think you've read it, but I could be wrong. And this is kind of a Shakespearean retelling. I don't know if retelling's not the right word. Shakespeare's a real person. But what this does is it looks at the death of Shakespeare's son, Hamnet, and basically tells a story of how Shakespeare and his wife might have met, and also how they would have processed and handled the death of their son. And the reasons why I'm recommending this is A, I know you love Shakespeare things. You've been doing a lot of those Shakespeare reading 2 books with your friend. She's been doing these live streams where they read the retelling and the play and then talk about it. So I know you love Shakespeare, and this is a Shakespeare book. I think the writing style will work for you. That's the one I'm most cautious about because, like, I can never tell. I think I can more tell when a writing style won't work for you. But for me, I was being reminded of Madeline Miller's writing style while I read this. And I know you like Madeline Miller's writing style for the most part. So I'm hoping this would be a win. I had to think so hard about this one just because we do have such split opinions about a lot of works. Like, for example, I really love The Unbroken. She really doesn't like The Unbroken. It's a struggle. It's a struggle. Opinions are fine. Everyone can have opinions. So that's my recommendation for Leanna. And then we're going to get into Leslie. All right, Leslie, there are so many books I could recommend to you, but this one is Saarland by Rivers Solomon. Mainly because you really like horror, and I think this is one of the few horror books that I've read. It's more like gothic fantasy horror, and it's more like horror in the sense of body horror, but there's like cool cult intrigue, and it's got a little bit more thriller vibes in terms of its pacing. But I think you're gonna really like it. I think. I hope. I just feel like the creepy vibes are potentially right up your alley. And if it's not, that'll actually help me figure out more recommendations for you in the future. Because like right now, you've already read all the fantasy books that I recommend to you, except for you have on your shelf City of Brass, which I think you should be reading. And of course, you have not continued Live Ship Traders, but I've already recommended that to someone. But I think Starland could work really well for your taste, especially since you love reading from all genres, and this book is like 5 genres. So I think that's right up your alley. If you didn't know, Leslie likes to call their channel a Heinz 57 channel where they read a little bit of everything. Next up, I want to recommend a book to Laura from the Book Circus. So Laura and I have a lot of overlap in fantasy. Like, they just read The Unbroken, and like verbatim, we're on the same page for why we love it. We both love the Auraria series, which is the duology with We Hunt the Flame and We Free the Stars. We're just in sync. And because of that, I'm going to recommend that you read Incendiary and Illusionary by Zoraida Cordova. You have to read both, okay? Just treat it like one book, okay? Because, I mean, you don't actually have to do that for it, but I just want to make sure you don't like stop after the first one, because I think you might really like the second one. Because I think our young adult fantasy tastes are also as in line as our adult fantasy taste, and especially based off how much you loved We Hunt the Flame and We Free the Stars, I just think it could really work for you. So yeah, you should definitely check out Laura's channel. She reads so much, and I know this month she's planning on doing weekly vlogs, which are always my favorite things. And sometimes we get lucky and we get to see her bird or her dogs. It's just a great time, such cozy vibes. And the last person I have a personalized recommendation for is Bethany from Beautifully Bookish Bethany. Bethany reads a lot. Finding a book Bethany has not read is a challenge, at least one that I have read. And she also has a wide range of genres she reads from. Like, romance and fantasy are her top genres, but she reads from everything. And this was a literary fiction that I really loved this year that I think she might have a really great time with, and that's Interior Chinatown. This is a screenplay and a satire. It's basically about the roles you get to play as an Asian American in the United States of America. And it basically does that by literally having a play where we have this never-ending, basically Law and Order SVU show and the different roles this one person is potentially able to play. It's fantastical at times. It's very out there, and there's a lot of satire, but I really liked it. I think you could blow through it in just like 2 hours, 3 hours maybe, and that you would have a really good time with it, I think. So we'll see. Like, there are so many books that we actually do have overlap with, but like I said, she's already read a lot of the stuff I've read. It's a little bit of a struggle, but I do think this one would work really well for you. And that's the list. Those are the people I wanted to recommend books for. Hopefully you get a taste of maybe the tastes of these different people. And I don't know, no one's pressured to read any of these things. I just wanted to talk about some books and why I liked them and booktubers and give personalized recommendations. If you guys like this, I definitely could do more in the future. Like, I have so many booktube friends. Like, these are just the first 10 that I thought of that I could think of books for. Like, but I have so many booktube friends, and I could definitely make videos like this like every 2 months or something, but only if you guys think it's a fun time. I just think it's a fun way to find books and channels at the same time, and it made me very happy. If you want, leave in the comments, I don't know, any recommendations you have for me based off these 10 books I really like. Any other channels maybe you think I should have on my radar, because obviously I don't follow everyone. I do my best. If you want to leave an emoji, leave just, a stack of books or a star. I think either of those would be great. And like if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.